Well, I wasn't gonna rhyme, but here I go. I gotta just give you the scenario. It's BigEAstro, Astrology, Metaphysical Ash. What we're about to do is give you a spiritual bath or maybe a splash. What do you say? We salute Dr. King on his special day, the inauguration. No need for fear. What we're going to bring is something to calm you down, dear. And listen up, mister. Time to meditate. Metaphysical Ash will set you straight. We're about to have fun and Virgo flow. The Virgo power, Virgo's on the show. Yes, it's time to see episode 288 with me and Ashlea Piefer, ready to go. Knowledge is love. Let's start the show.
Oh!
What's up, good people? It's Eric Taylor, Big E Astrology. I really wasn't going to rhyme, but sometimes it just happens and you got to go with the flow because that's how I do it. It's Eric Taylor, Big E Astrology, back with episode 288 of my Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast. And tonight I got a special one, my Virgo sister. She is a spiritual guide, she is a meditation coach, and really, she is here to help you to connect to the divine. I welcome to the show Miss Metaphysical Ash, Ashlea Piefer. Hello, Ashley. How are you, my friend?
Hi, Eric. I'm wonderful. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. That was such a great intro. It really got me going and feeling really excited to be here.
Well, that's good. That's what I want to do. Excite you, the crowd, the audience, and everyone, because we are going to explore all the yummy spiritual things that really the collective needs right now. And I'm so excited to have you join me. I was on your IG Live last week talking about that wonderful planetary alignment that is still to come. We'll see it really from the 21st to the 25th. But I want to find out, who is Metaphysical Ash?
Well, she's quite a character. She's quite a character. She is here to help humanity align with the divine
Mm,
and find their rightful place as citizens of the cosmos.
I really like that. And see, and what I like, and we're going to get into all that you do and what you offer with everybody. But I must let everybody know as you come into the chat, welcome, hello, everybody. But we'll repeat it again, but maybe not. But Ashley is a Virgo like me. So two Virgos come together. We're here to be of service to the collective and humanity. She's a Sag moon and Sag rising. And you know, my wife's a Sag moon. So Ashley, I know you very well in that sense. And my mother-in-law is a Sag rising, so it's really cool. So I like to take my guests down a little bit of memory lane because being a spiritual guide and a meditation coach and all the work that you do helping people as they kind of come out of the programming in the matrix, who was 10-year-old Ashley? And could she have ever imagined all that you are today and what's going on in our world right now?
Well, I mean, I suppose 10-year-old Ashley was highly sensitive,
Mm,
very in tune energetically. I remember thinking to myself, this isn't normal, but I had this significant fascination with the other realms and things beyond the veil. I had an affinity for spooky dark stuff. I was very much in touch with the darkness. And I
mm.
remember I had a friend who did witchcraft, and this is when I was 10 years old. There were
Wow.
some interesting things happening at that point in my life. Um, Growing up in a household that had its struggles, when you are challenged mentally, a lot of times there are metaphysical components to that. And I could see and feel those things as a young child. It wasn't until I became an adult that I recognized it wasn't mental illness. I could actually protect myself. And
Mm.
meditation has been a foundational tool in that. A lot of times we think we're thinking, but we're not. There's actually intelligent frequencies in the field that seek to actualize themselves. And I got to know a lot of those energies, a lot of those intelligent frequencies at a very young age. So 10-year-old Ashlea was struggling. She was
Mm.
challenged psychically, mentally, physically at times. Grew up in a home that didn't really have much. There were challenges with mental health and substance abuse. So 10-year-old Ashlea was learning the hard way how to help people.
That I love that's so beautiful. So, when in terms of the spiritual aspect of it, were you seeing spirits? Did you just feel energies? Did you hear things? Or did you ever see any, like, ghosts or aliens or anything like that as a young child?
I did. It didn't go galactic until I became an adult.
Okay.
Although now as an adult, I realize that some of the energies are very much, there can be a correlation between angels and aliens. There's a connection there. So, oh, just reading the chat. Um, as a as a as a young child, I saw things. I could see things within and around people. So the
Mm,
auras, the cloudiness, the darkness, sometimes energies and entities attached, sitting up on people's shoulders. I would see certain things, frequencies within the field when there was anger, violence within and around my environment. There are other substances that are created by the human body when they go into those realms of emotion. I could see all that.
wow, that's powerful. And I can tell, that you definitely have some placements that can even speak to that in terms of
Mhm.
you have probably always been extremely connected to your intuition, but did you know when to trust it or to rely on it, or when did that come online? Because you have Neptune in the second house, and that's
Mhm.
really very powerful for people to have. It's almost like this spiritual decoder, in terms of when you speak, but when other people speak. So, can you remember when it kind of streamlined for you and you felt like you can interpret what people were really saying or their energy?
Everything everything made sense after my third wave of awakening. So I started preparing for that at 26.
Okay.
And what you just said, how you were able to pinpoint that in my chart, when I do my work and I hear people talk, that's how I tune in to their frequencies, to their codes, to the
Mm,
programs that they're running. It's through their voice. I
wow.
read their sound tone. And then from that point, we do the work. We go in, we dive deep into their inner being through meditation, a few other modalities that I use that are scientifically backed. And we get rid of anything that stands in between them and full alignment with the divine source, the Godhead, whatever you like to call it, the
Mm,
essence of our creation.
I love that. That's so amazing. So, we'll get to you guys in the chat, and if you guys have any questions or whatever, we'll get to it. And Ashley will say hi to you guys in a minute. But I want you to kind of explore with us and explain to the audience what is it that you do as a spiritual guide and helping people at this time, right? We're star seeds and we're kind of here. We all have these gifts. Some people have recognized them, some haven't. And I know you mentioned your third sort of spiritual leveling up and awakening. Kind of explain that to us, and then how we got to being a spiritual guide and how you help your clients at this time.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. So I recognize there's layers and levels to awakening, and there's layers and levels to the construct of reality. So
Mm,
what I do is I help people navigate the challenges that they're currently facing where they are on their spiritual journey, on their path of ascension, connecting back to their creator. People have different sensitivities. Some people can see, some people can sense, some people are out there navigating astral planes, cleaning up soul aspects. I mean, it goes so deep. Some people are channeling,
yeah.
and their channels are coming from different pockets and dimensions of consciousness that have been, in fact, infiltrated through different agendas and energies and entities that still seek to sustain themselves on our planet, using the human being.
Yeah.
My mission is to help humanity reclaim its rightful place in the cosmos without interference, without imposition, connecting directly with God, with the divine.
Mm,
And I work with different orders and different councils, specifically with that divine feminine essence of creation. That's my alignment. I've been that for so many times in so many ways, and it's always felt like home for me. So I hold the container and I help others reach their ultimate truth through clearing out the distortions. Does that answer your question?
it does in so many ways, but it brings up so many more questions. So when you get, and some people like to call them uploads, I like to call them downloads. And I know for you having Uranus on the ascendant, when you get your downloads, do you find often it is either in the dream state sleeping or kind of when you are awakened? And if it is more awakened, is it when you are actually grounding or connected to nature or moving your physical body?
Oh boy, it happens in all different types of ways. So I'm thinking about your question, and the downloads, the information, the exchange in nature. So nature is an amazing system. I know you know this. Nature is an amazing system with information. It is a mycelium network.
Yes.
I get a lot of information from nature, from the other side of the world, connecting with the waters in my
Mm,
own city. We can do that when we really tune in to those sensitivities, those chakras on the hands. Like we can translate information. So I get it in all the ways, Eric. I'll even meditate staring at a white wall and allow the information to come in. So it
mm,
comes in through all different ways, shapes, and forms. My dream state is often more a training ground rather than a place where I receive downloads or uploads.
okay.
I get those mostly when I'm in silence or if I'm in a specific place or space or connecting with a certain person, like our conversation on IG.
Yeah.
I I had no idea what you were saying, but I understood it. I don't know astrology and this moving into Uranus and this over, but you do, but you're speaking it to me and I understand it. And then I integrate that. I sit with it. I don't distract myself. I sit with it. I
Mm,
integrate and I let it marinate. And then I hold that embodiment from the keys and codes that you had given me. So it comes in all different ways, shapes, and forms, directly from the divine, from nature, from other people like you activating us.
wow. I love that. So let's get to some of these comments in the chat and see who's here with us.
We have Elena Taylor. She says, how is everyone doing tonight? Where are you in terms of your ascension journey? So she's asking the chat, where is everyone in terms of their ascension journey? And
Mm.
that's a tough question because I feel like we are where we are and we don't really realize where we are until we take a higher perspective and see some.
No, and
Yeah.
it's so funny when you said that earlier because it made me think about that because I have felt tremendous shifts in myself. I remember, as I was younger, my heart chakra, I didn't know these words, but it's always been open. I've always had a level of spiritual discernment, but I didn't know any of these terms. And so then as you start to hear or connect in different ways and through your journey, it's like your soul contract has set you to meet certain people and then they kind of help you see something and then you level up and then and it adds on. And then I had another one, after already being a professional astrologer and being around all these spiritual people in 2021 when I had my near death experience and my journey to the other side. And so you're right, there's so many like stages and levels. And I just love, I know you're like this, but I like to just hold space for people at whatever level they're at. So that's beautiful. Who else do we have here in the
We have Evelyn Torres. She says, good evening.
Hey Ev.
We have C.
Hey C.
Good evening, everyone. He's late but here. Well, thank you for joining us. We have Dan. Hello, Dan. Thank you all for coming. We have Abdul. We have Red Velvet.
Oh,
Hi.
hey Red Velvet. Okay, so if you guys have any questions for Ashley, please ask away. So I think this is powerful, and I want you to share with us. Um, this wasn't always you, even though you have had these gifts and then they've transformed or leveled up or changed. What was sort of before you had maybe this level of awakening to turn this into your business? Share with us so people can relate and really understand what was like your main or most recent or a couple of your matrix jobs. Like what was your hustle, your 9 to 5?
Yeah. Well, I worked as a professional shopper, and I was a brand representative for Theory at Saks Fifth Avenue, and I owned a beauty salon.
Shut up.
So very, yeah, very much 3D, very much materialistic.
Okay.
During the journey, I dropped all that. I remember I cut all my hair off. I cut it off real short. I stopped buying, expensive clothes, and I gave it all up. I barely wore makeup. And then eventually, you make your way back around and
Right.
realized, you are who you choose to be. And I became the observer of who I was, the beliefs I carried, the programs I was running. And I kept what I liked and what I felt aligned with divinity, and I released what didn't
Wow. Yeah.
through
And
observation.
I like that, and that makes sense. And my wife, Alana, who she asked that question, she used to work for Saks Fifth Avenue in San Francisco, so she can relate to you. And she
Yeah.
has right now, but it's so high vibration, organic and vegan body and skincare.
Oh,
So
that's
that's her
nice.
business. Yeah. So like, I work with people, in the astrology, and she works with people on the health side. So we kind of have everybody covered, like mind, body, heart, soul, in that aspect. So it's really fun and really cool. So give me an example. If someone comes to you, young man, young woman, or they could be old, doesn't matter, and they have these questions: Who am I? Why do I feel so stuck? I hate my career. I can't have a healthy relationship. Can you help me? Where do you go from there with them?
We go inward. So
Mm,
it's funny that first question, who am I?
yes.
Uh, Once we have a decent foundation of presence, so presence in the body, and we have some questions in the chat.
Okay.
It was Gloria. Okay, Gloria, your question, how can I connect and feel what is happening if I'm sitting in front of someone that's saying one thing, but you're feeling something else? So that one, and then there was another one,
That's a good question.
Victoria, what are some good ways to meditate? So I'm going to answer both those questions right now. So discernment, knowing what is yours and what is another's. So presence in the body. If you could take a deep breath in and become aware of where you are, how you are. So you notice the tip of your nose, back of the head. This higher dantian is an area that we get a lot of congestion, a lot of debris in our energy field. What
Mm,
happens is your mind will conceptualize that energy as thought. You think you're thinking, but that's not necessarily true.
mm,
So we drop down into the heart. That first question you asked, who am I?
yeah.
Who am I? And that's a question you can ask yourself to help your supportment or discernment, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
which would support Gloria's question. How can I connect and feel what is happening if I'm sitting in front of someone who's saying one thing but feeling another? Tune into your body and ask yourself, who am I?
Mm,
It'll help you understand if it's something coming from internal conflict within you or if it's something truly that they're projecting and try and emitting from their energy field.
yeah.
That's the first question to really help with discernment. And meditation's really just it starts with pure presence. If you can notice the tip of your nose, how the sound enters your body, the chair that supports you, taste in your mouth, scent of the air, that's how it starts. Once you can turn the mind off, turn into the senses, then you can go deeper and figure out what's going on inside of you.
I love that. So, can I ask you a question? I just thought of this. This is kind of weird and it may not even be a good question, but I got to ask it, right? We're both Virgos. I'm a cat moon, so I'm very earthy. Um, do you feel that certain people need to ground and connect to nature more than others, even though it's beneficial, obviously, for everyone?
I would say yes, just through experience working with different people. And
Yeah.
then different parts of the world, it may be more challenging. You might not even want to connect into nature, but you can actually ground into your own light matrix. You can ground yourself into your own bones.
Yeah.
So you can ground yourself. Like if you're traveling in a city and you're not sure if you're comfortable, because different parts of our elemental field have been a little bit distorted and manipulated energetically, electrically. So
Mm.
grounding into your own light matrix, which would be your bones, you can do that. That'll get you solid in space and time, bring you into the now.
I love that. And as you said that astrologically for the audience, I visualize that, you guys, where you're connecting to your moon and your Saturn. This is our body, our DNA, our bones, our lineage. So you would look at your natal birth chart where your moon and your Saturn are at and really kind of tap into those signs, those two planets and the houses they're in. So that's really powerful. And I that resonates with me. And I'm like, yeah, because I used to always be up in my head. That sometimes is a gift and a curse of being a Virgo. Very logical, critical, self-critical, analytical. I say now, jokingly, Ashley, I'm a recovering Virgo. I'm
Yeah.
much, I'm much nicer to myself, and I'm less
That's
critical of
real.
others. You
That's
know,
real.
it is real, and it's a journey. You know what I mean? It is a process, and I tell people I don't wish them to be a Virgo because it's a hard life, but I chose it. And I also, at the same time, I love it. I wouldn't want to be any other sign because I like the mechanics of the processing filter and the digestion. Virgo rules the digestion, the stomach, the digestion of words and energy for my own spirit and my own body. It's connecting in such a wonderful way. And Ashley's going to guide us, you guys, and shortly into a beautiful meditation. But I want to ask you, in terms of where we're at now, we are having our government and all the governments around the world finally admit to UAPs, UFOs, aliens, whatever they want to name them. You know, you mentioned that you connect, whether it's to the Federation, Galactic Federation, or the Council. I want to ask you, what should we expect in 2025? And what is our best tool to stay out of the fear matrix and stay into openness and faith that everything's going to be okay?
Yeah, it's gonna get a little shaky. So, my mission here is to bring in that divine feminine essence, that harmonious, um, unifying field and force. We all have different missions. We have boots on the ground. We have people that are the whistleblowers. Know your mission.
Mm,
Release the idea of what everybody else is doing. Know your mission. Tune in with that center, that original question Eric said, who am I? Expand on that. What have I come here to do?
mm,
Where did I come from? What is my mission? And just continue to ask yourself those questions inward. And what will happen is your structure of reality will start creating alignments in your hologram to mirror back your truth. It's coming for you. It all just starts with intention. And remind yourself your mind is a tool. You choose your thoughts because 2025 is going to be a year of a lot of scrambling. And what I mean by scrambling is I mean frequencies within the field that won't be moving into the next harmonic. So reality basically operates as a waveform. We're
mm.
shifting into a higher harmony. They're going
Yeah.
to be scrambling and seeking to sustain themselves. That means control your thoughts, use your tools, meditate, know your alignments, know who you are, where you are in space and time, your reference points. The idea of who you are directly contributes to the dimension that you experience and what you contribute to the world. So it's
I
going to get a
love
little
that.
shaky, but it's going to be amazing. And what appears to be is just a tiny sliver. There's so much going on
Yeah.
beyond what we can see. And I wanted to touch on that for the grid workers, Eric. What
Yes.
we what we talked about, because you handle cosmos astrology, and every single thing in your body, your organs are connected to the cosmos. So
Yeah.
human beings, the light workers, you guys are acupuncture points on the planet. You're the micro that is affecting the macro. So intentionally co-creating with source, with the higher realms of creation. I mean, we're talking like the God worlds, like
Yeah.
the higher heavens, those frequencies coming in that have never been here before, just through intention and desire to align with that. You're impacting some of those planetary fields and the information that exists within them, the angles.
I love that. And it's so true. And what people really, I think, don't understand, and I know it can be a confusing system, but everything is energy, frequency, and vibrations. And as above, so down below. And just like how the signs connect to the body parts and organs in the body, so do the planets and have these different representations. And so that's what I love what you're talking about. And it makes me think about, and I want you to get deeper into the technology of the body, because we, everything like the mushrooms, the trees, the birds, the plants, we are all, together, right? These beautiful crystals, right? And so we have to kind of humble ourselves as human beings, right? I say to some people who hate on or doubt astrology, it is in the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran. And these crystals are not a sin. And, we are connected, and these planets are really like these plasma, like light body energies that do send frequency and vibration, right? Because we know logically, right? You see, the Jews and the Muslims base their holidays on the lunar calendar, right? The farmer's almanac, a woman's menstrual cycle, the tides of the ocean. This is all connected to the moon. And so when we really start to understand that our soul contract, right, which connects us to the Kabbalah, and we have gematria and numerology, when we integrate all these beautiful systems that are coming up from the mystery schools and this ancient occult science and knowledge, we can better be connected to Gaia, Mother Earth, and nature, but to our own soul's blueprint, so that this ascension won't be so challenging and difficult. Because, like you said, we've got to connect to the divine and just tune in and listen through the senses. So, explain to us, what is the technology of the body, and how do you integrate that with your clients and the work that you do?
Yeah, I was thinking about when you mentioned the Kabbalah, the tree of life, and something that's happening here on our planet is a realignment of the space and time fields. So some of what may be within your Kabbalah, your tree of life, is actually being worked on by those higher realms of creation. They're working in the dimensional fields and impacting you. So it's a flow, it's a surrender, it's an intention to align with the highest of the high, becoming the holiest of the holies that you can be. And it starts with intention
Yeah.
and prayer, meditation, mindfulness. I can't emphasize it enough. This is how you do it. You come out of the mind and come into the subtle fields of the body, and you're going to find out what you have, where it is, and what we need to let go of, because the matrix of our body has been manipulated genetically. The instruction sets for how we form ourselves in space and time have been manipulated. And humanity is like this big experiment, but we have a choice to align ourselves directly with God, with universal construct and frequency, and it will harmonize you. it may require a little bit of things might fall away, crumble in your reality if there's parts of you that have been defined by structures and paradigms that are not in universal law and organization, and you just surrender to that. You flow and you hold the faith. And I think was it you that told me you feed faith and starve fear?
No, but I do like that saying.
I think you
I
said
always
something
I always
like that.
say faith over fear,
Okay,
and my big saying is hashtag deep water faith.
there we
So,
go.
but somebody else must have said that to you, but I align with it 110%. But faith over fear always, because we energetically, we can't be in fear. It will never serve us. And that's why I say turn off the idiot box and the tell I vision. When the media, if they're talking, they're lying, and you cannot get caught up in that. They want to energy harvest and take, because a lot of these entities and beings, especially the darker entities on this planet, they cannot create in this realm. They need us. So they manipulate us to have the fear, to then use that energy to birth whatever nefarious things they want to do. Now, I just got to backtrack for a second because it makes me tingle and laugh inside. My audience knows that I say these things a lot, but you hit on them, and I'm just like, yes, that's my Virgo sister, right? So you said intentional, and I always say we must be maniacal intentional about our meditation, about our
Yeah.
spiritual discipline at this time. It's go time. There's no time to waste. We have to stop playing, and we have to be sick of our own selves. The things that we don't like, we have to be like disgusted by it so that we can change. This energy is saying we have to say goodbye to the old structures and systems. And that's why I say become the president and leader of your own lives. It doesn't matter if it's Harris or Trump or Biden or whoever. It's got to be Ashley and Eric. It's got to be Evelyn and everyone else in this chat, right? It's got to be us taking responsibility and being these sovereign beings. And then the other thing you said, what's your mission here? Do you know, Ashley, on my first hip hop album, E Complete is my MC name, I have a song titled My Mission. And I had three other MCs and a woman singing on it. And that was the whole concept, right? What was your assignment? What is your mission here on planet Earth?
Mhm.
As you came to this planet, what are you here to do? And then that was the song, and I, did my thing and said my mission. And so when you said that, I was just like, hallelujah, like. So it's so good. So hey, let's go back to the chat. I want to see what questions people have for you, and then I want you to share because I think you said you had a special quote from Dr. King,
I
and
do.
go
Yeah.
to meditation. So let's go to the chat, and then
We have Debbie here. Debbie says hi, Eric and Ashley.
hey, Deb.
Greetings from me currently in beautiful San Juan de Sur, Nicaragua.
Oh my gosh, Debbie, we love you, Debbie. Debbie Solaris connected us
Loved it.
together.
Debbie connected us.
And she
Yeah.
is, I know she's having a good time. And Debbie, oh my God, I wish I could have been luggage with you and Terry. And Alana and I could have snuck on with you and Ashley too. I'm sure
Yeah,
Nicaragua.
we just all pop in Debbie's luggage.
Oh my God. You know,
Take
when
us
I
with
think
you.
of Peru or Nicaragua or Costa Rica or Colombia, I'm like, I want to go tomorrow.
Yeah.
I want to go tomorrow.
I
So.
feel you because it's 8 degrees here in Columbus, Ohio.
Ooh, well, I don't want to tell you. Today it's chilly for us, but I'm embarrassed to say what
Is it
chilly
like
is.
50?
No, it will be cold tonight. So sometimes in the mornings we could be like last week in the morning it was 30 degrees. But
Oh.
every day it goes up to like high 50s or 60s. The high today was 63. So I'm surely not complaining because it was 63 and sunny. But I will tell you in Arizona, so everyone can understand, there's no humidity. I'm from New York, and the East Coast, we got a ton of humidity. When it's dry and it's like 5-10% humidity, it's bone chilling. And so 63, right, as my wife says, it's all relative, because if you're coming from 110 and 105, 63 is freezing, right? So, and when there's no humidity, goes right through you.
Debbie says it's 85 degrees there. Lucky her. And Victoria made a comment. You can't pray and then worry about it. You have to have faith. Yes, because you're
Yes.
center. You're the center of your universe.
Yeah.
So if we pray and then worry about it, we're just holding that resonance, we're holding that energy, we're holding that frequency, and that's not what we want to hold or want to feed out into the environment.
And that's what you're attracting back to yourself, is that fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else we got?
We have Aslea Piefer. We have all got to become the president of our own lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put your own name on the ballot.
I know that's right.
And
Actually,
Victoria said,
this year I almost did want to vote for Eric Taylor, to be honest with you.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Victoria says, so meditation doesn't always look like it feels. I feel like I meditate all the time. So there's mindfulness and then there's meditation.
Yes.
Mindfulness is the first step to perfecting your meditation practice. That's awareness of who you are, where you are, who you believe yourself to be. That's mindfulness. And if you can become mindful, you can become the observer. And then you can dive deeper into meditation, which is basically where you download new programming. That's how I consider it. Like mindfulness is awareness of your current programming. Meditation is where you connect directly in with source and download new programming.
I like that. I like that. So you want to share this wonderful quote and take us on a little meditation journey?
I do. Yeah. So since today is Martin Luther King's birthday.
Well, his birthday is related
Sorry,
to
that's
TV.
right. Because okay, so this is from a speech, and on August 28th, 1963, he said, I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exhalated, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. There's one part of that quote that really stands out to me. And it's the part where he says, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. It reminds me of our bioluminescence, the energy that emits from our body, and how we can align ourselves with the highest of the high, what he referred to at that time as the Lord, and embody that and express it out.
Yeah. You know, what people don't really get is there's so many versions and iterations of a fairly very young activist man that, I've done his birth chart in my astrology class and stuff like that. And he, is that Capricorn sun, Pisces moon, and Taurus rising, and a real true humanitarian who at some point knew that his life was going to be ended. He was tormented by the FBI and CIA and J. Edgar Hoover and knew that he would be killed. But, even in his later days and speeches, he was coming to different realizations that, it's famous that he said, I feel like I've led my people into a burning building of America. And it's really deep because, he was getting much more political. And I do think he may have actually tried to run for the president. And when he was in Memphis, he was organizing labor unions. And powers that be were not so happy with the power he was getting and getting into more economics and not just turning the other cheek. And I consider him one of the four horsemen. And I think there are many people who have done wonderful things on this planet. But in our nation, there are clearly, to me, four human beings with levels of power, whether it was given to them or they earned it, that really at some point noticed or recognized something, that they were really raging against the machine and trying to fight for you and I and the entire collective. And that is MLK, JFK, RFK, and Malcolm X. And they were all taken out. And it's very unfortunate, you know what I mean? But I think we have to embody this love and this connection to the divine, like you're saying. And at this time, being the president and leader of your own life, you guys, it doesn't mean that you don't respect authority, but it does mean that you need to become the authority. You need to stop thinking that you need this person and this permission, that you have got to tap into your own intuition and your own heart and take charge of your own life, and I think that's what I liked about how you connected to us, what you were doing in the 3D realm for your jobs, and then who you are now, because we all have these spiritual gifts and we can all take this leap of faith to awaken them, find out what your soul's purpose and your mission is, and really become that leader of your own life and dream the dream and do what it is you feel like your soul is here to do, not something to pay bills and your wallet. Because when you align with your soul, and Ashley will tell you, and I'm seeing it for myself, you will still be able to pay those bills, but you'll do it in a true, heartfelt, heart-centered, authentic way. So it's on you, my friend.
I love that, Eric. And, we're in a new place. We've never been here before. And some of those fences, those blocks, those limitations that were in place when those men were attempting to fight the machine are dissolving. They're not supported where we're headed.
Yeah.
So truly know your assignment, tune in, and bring it into fruition, because a lot of those blocks and those limitations, they don't exist anymore energetically, frequency within the dimensional realms of creation. They're crumbling. And that's what I get when I connect in with those higher council, the free world councils for humanity to take its place in the cosmos.
Mm.
And, connecting with the higher heavens and the dragon mothers is what I consider them. They're plasmic dragons of light and sound fields. This is a new time. This is a brand new cycle, and we don't have the same block. So bring something new, and you don't know what you don't know. So let it come in. It's
Mm.
completely new. I know there's people on this call
Oh,
that
yeah.
are aligned. They're going to be creating new paradigms, and it's something that's never been built before. There's no standard for it. It's going to come through you. Get ready, because we're just getting started.
Oh, we are just getting started, my friend, and it's an exciting time. And guess what? We're built for this. That's what I want
Mhm.
everybody to know. You're here at this time. You survived the last 4 years for a reason. You are here for a very distinct assignment and mission. So it's time to awaken to who you really are and walk in that divine assignment and alignment and 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 go get it. Like go be it. Go be of service. Go push the envelope. Go be your future self. The time is now. So
Beautiful.
I want to ground and connect to this beautiful meditation. And we will get back to you guys in the chat. I see we got a lot more
Yeah.
comments and questions as well.
Should we take a moment to tune in?
Yeah.
So we're going to go through a meditation. I'm going to guide you inward to understand who you are, how you are, and your personal mission and assignment. So taking a deep breath in, I want you to notice the scent of the air, the expansion of your lungs, what supports you. Bringing awareness 360 degrees, front, back, side to side, top to bottom. This body, this vessel, this temple, this vehicle of your soul, you claim, you command it in service to the Most High. Take another deep breath in. See if you can harmonize the entire space within the skin. So front of the body, back of the body, top of the head, bottom of the feet, left to right, right to left. Harmonize using breath as your tool the entire space within. This is where you claim and command your I am state. I am peace. I am harmony. Deep breath in, breathing. I am present. If thoughts come, let them pass like waves in the field. Just fully tuning into the sensations in the body, how the sound hits you. Taste in your mouth, temperature of the air, clothing on the skin, fully present with this body. Another inhale, notice that spine, straighten that spine. That is center of your universe. Notice the ribs, where the ribs meet the spine, and then the front, where the heart resides. Begin to breathe into that space in the front of your chest. I want you to imagine a plasma light of platinum or gold pixelating at your heart center. This is the electric intelligence of your soul. Just breathe into that. Introduce yourself to that electric that runs through you, to you, from the Most High. This is the seed of creation that exists within you. See if you can sense that. See if you can feel the subtle sensation of the divine, of Source within you. Just noticing your body, front to back, side to side, top to bottom, 360-degree awareness. As you tune in to the seed of creation that exists within you. Next inhale, I want you to imagine that plasma light expanding as you ask yourself, who am I? And just breathe, noticing the skin, the space within you. Any ideas, thoughts that come, just observe. Noticing that spine as it moves with each inhale, filling the lungs. Deep breaths in and out, claiming your body in full alignment, presence, and service to the Most High. And you notice yourself 360 degrees, the sphere of energy that exists around you, and then breathing deeply, harmonize the space within. Noticing that light at the center of your chest, taking a deep breath in, asking that soul, that seed of creation, what have I come here to do? And just observe. Noticing the breath as your tool. Just observe what comes to you. If you don't hear, see anything, just sense the subtle energies around you as you are reclaiming this body, this vehicle, this temple in service to the Most High. Breathe. Front of the body, back of the body, top of the head, spine. Deep breath in, noticing that center, that seed of creation. Where have I come from? And just observe what comes to you. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Connecting with the nervous system. This is the electric circuitry. This is how you speak to the quantum field, and this is how the quantum field speaks to you. I want you to reclaim that nervous system in service to the Most High. Using breath as your tool, deep breath in, notice the nervous system through the entire body. We're going to clear it out with platinum light energy, pixelating through all of your circuits, commanding this body free and clear of distortion, imposition, or interference. I am present, harmony, a unifying force in service to the Most High. Now we're going to lock that in. And how you do that, as you take a deep breath in, you notice the body, front, back, side to side, top to bottom, locking yourself into this frequency of your truth. You could imagine just vacuum sealing yourself in a container of energy, holding this space. Carefully open your eyes, wiggle your fingers and toes, coming back into this now moment, noticing how you feel present in this body. Notice your bones, soft tissue, the skin, and then the subtle fields of energy around you. That's how we start to change the world. It's through reclaiming ourselves, and you can go deep into that.
Wow. I love that. I really, you guys can share in the chat if you did it,
Yeah.
what you experienced and felt. So, number one, early on, I was a little throbbing on my right kneecap, and then it calmed down and went away. It wasn't like a spasm, but I was seeing in my mind's eye and feeling a warm gold and kind of like, not silver, almost like bright white light and gold. And it was like permeating like around my head, not like a full circle, but more like like a, I guess like a big triangle above me. And yeah, and it was just,
How was the triangle shaped, Eric?
I mean, it was like more like an oval triangle, I should say.
Okay.
It was like above me, and it was just like kind of angled, but then rounded at the top. And I could just feel the warmth of it as if it was pouring maybe energy or codes into the top of my crown chakra. And it was just, and as I was aligning my breath, I kept feeling like my spine recalibrate and little like cracks in my neck, and I'm
Yeah.
sure that's because sometimes I'm out of alignment sitting in this chair all day working with clients, but like it was just coming back together, and it was just energizing me, and it was just kind of beautiful. And then your voice was taking me like to a whole nother place. So it was just, yeah, it was great. Thank you. I,
That's
I,
amazing.
I needed that.
Yeah, I love that for you. And if we were to lay the tree of life over top of our body, our
Mm,
joints are really significant. And the fascia in the body, this is why I encourage people to work on their fascia,
mm,
because when we're in the same position, we're not moving, little instruction sets, information can get trapped in the
yeah.
fascia, and then we hold the tension in our body. Someone in the chat, Samuel said, "Is it normal to feel pain between your eyes while doing this?"
Mm,
I have not had that feedback, but it's going to depend, like, where is that? So if you're reclaiming and intending to reclaim your body in service to the Most High,
mm,
you will notice, and the more still you become, the more you're going to notice the technology in the body where you might be out of alignment or have stagnant energy. And it sounds like intuitively there might be an opening within the third eye.
yes, a
Is
clearing.
that what
It's a clearing
yeah,
of
like
the
a
third eye.
clearing in the third eye. So that's where you kind of can see beyond what's right in front of you to the bigger lesson or the bigger picture. It can also contribute to forgiveness of past situations and transgressions. When that third eye clears, you start to see things a little differently, and you can.
Mm.
That's what I'm sensing with that one. So does that resonate with you, Samuel? Feel free to share that in the chat.
Yeah. How you guys
Beautiful.
doing out there? Oh my gosh.
He's
Any other questions or comments? It's actually Samuel, I think is the last name. I think it's actually a female. So
okay. I see that now. There's an I,
yeah.
Samuel. And she also said, today I mentioned to my family to release all negative energy before going to bed and to visualize the crystalline energy washing
Mm.
it away. Credit to Dolores Cannon. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my
Good.
goodness. Before you go to sleep, that's a great time to set intention to clear your field, your energy, all systems. You can
Yeah.
even specify if you know what organs are holding what.
Yeah.
Victoria said, I heard 3 things about who I am. I am
Mm.
excited to revisit this and learn more. That's amazing. How powerful
Well,
is it to sit with
please
yourself?
reach
Yeah,
out. Now, I
yeah.
want you to share, how can people book with you and share your services? And everything is down below in terms of your contact information, but I want you to share it with the audience as well now.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. So you can find my information on my website. It's my first and last name. You can see that right here, ashleapiefer.com. You can also find me on most social media avenues as Ashlea Piefer or Metaphysical Ash. I do readings, I do meditation coaching. My goal is to help those who are spiritually awakened or psychically aware navigate some of those challenges. So I have
Mm.
custom courses for empaths, for those who want to balance their masculine and feminine energies, and
Wow.
then for those who tend to just be really trapped in their mind. So
And that's a lot of folks, Ashley.
yeah. Yeah.
This realm and this matrix, it does have us trapped in our mind. And for me, and you and I spoke about this off air, like for me being this Virgo, I've always needed proof and evidence. And I've always been very
Yeah.
heavy mental. I've got this little thing where I feel like Virgo's secretly, shh, don't tell anybody. The fourth air sign, right?
Yeah.
Because we're ruled by Mercury. But at the same time, I do feel such a connection to, excuse me, the body and the intuition. And the more now that I tap into that, and for me, it could be for everybody different. Some people need to do yoga, hiking, mindfulness, guided meditations, going for walks, exercise, grounding at home. I particularly, for me, I find very connected, grounding, and earthing in nature, and I commune with my trees and I talk to them and I thank them and I really connect to my spirit guides and my ancestors, my mother and father in heaven, my grandparents. I feel like I've got a team of support, on the other side,
Yeah.
and I commune with them and I honor them and I thank them. And so, yeah, I mean, you guys, please reach out to Ashley, but know that you're not that far off. You just may need a little guidance, and someone like
Yeah.
Ashley can really help you. And it's okay, right? We are so far from perfect, but I think we've got to get out of this arrogance of humanity and human beings and know that we are different. We're not better than the trees. We're not better than a dog or a cat or a horse. And oh my God, I love horses. They're so majestic. And but I really want us to get to a place now more than ever where we are open to receiving new data and information. Jupiter's in Gemini right now, you guys. It's expanding the data and expanding the information, the input output mechanism.
Mhm.
And when you receive, that old adage, when you know better, you do better. The energy is supporting that 2,000 fold. We can be going left 300 times, but if you realize now going left is not working for you, you can stop and turn around and go straight or right. And that's okay. You have every right to make changes in your life and adjustments. So reaching out to someone like Ashley, reaching out to me for a birth chart reading, whatever it is, that is just to help you get back aligned to your blueprint. And like Ashley says, it's so lovely that I love, and connect back to the divine, because that's really who we are. We're all reflections of God's consciousness.
Yeah.
So, so any more that you want to, let's see who else we got. I think we got a couple more questions and comments. It's like,
Yeah, we have lit living in truth.
mm,
I love that. Yes, this matrix does have us trapped in our minds. And she's right. These are the light and sound fields that are manipulated. But when you set that intention and you really tune out and turn in, you download that new information that you're talking about, Eric. And
yeah,
this is how we do it. This is how, people are going to be bringing in new technologies and time. I want to say something about time.
mm,
You can make a significant amount of progress. You can collapse space and time when you are aligned energetically. You can make quantum leaps through understanding who you are, your alignments, how to work with them, how to tune into yourself. And we all have different gifts, and we're meant to unify, to come together,
yeah.
and to share these gifts as, parts of the puzzle. So it's okay to ask for help. I have so many people that help me with so many different things,
Oh, yeah.
and there's a vulnerability to that, but it's also very healing.
It is. And
Yeah.
I think that's where that humility comes in. It's okay to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength and
Yeah.
collaboration, right? This is the age of Aquarius. Pluto's in Aquarius the next 20 years. We're laying down the foundation. I always tell you guys, right? Pinky toe. We're on the precipice, pinky toe in the water. Not even in the water. When the sand and the beach, just the water comes up and the sand is wet. That's where we're at. So we have been chosen. We chose, right? Our souls chose to be here at this time. And that's powerful. So that means we're built for it, to lay down this foundation for generations to come, for our future selves, for our children and grandchildren, and so on and so on, and beget. And so this is the time to not ride it alone. Find your spiritual tribe, connect to other people, right? That's why I wanted to connect with Ashley. And it was just instant, and we connected through Debbie. But that's what it's about. You have to be willing to share. That's why on this podcast, Ashley, it's called Knowledge is Love.
I love that. I love that
Because,
so much. Yeah.
yeah, and it's one of my isms that I created years ago, back in, oh my God, like the late 90s, early 2000s, right? And I came up with it based on the fact that when you love someone, you should keep them in the know. They should never have to guess, assume, or believe, because they can do that wrong. Therefore, knowledge is love. And so for me, that's how it is about information. I am not to gain all this knowledge and then hoard it.
Mhm.
I've got an Aquarius, the spiritual awakener, the
Yep.
fixed air sign, the water bearer. I've got to pour out the wisdom and knowledge, share it with you. You share it back to me. We are reflections onto one another. And so we all shine, grow, and elevate when I have amazing guests like Ashley and Debbie Solaris and Veronica Clark on my channel. You're hearing different bits of knowledge. You gain and take that wisdom and bring it into understanding by integrating it how you need to in your own life and in through your heart. And it's just that simple. And then we all elevate and we're all better. And so that's the intention of this podcast, and the intention that I have in my heart, because I've always been a unifier and a community builder.
Yeah, I can tell. And I told you that. I was like, "Man,
Yeah.
Eric, you're so good at that." Like, I
Thank you.
see you out here, and it takes know your assignment. Know your assignment.
Yeah.
We got a birthday.
Oh, whose birthday?
Lit living in your truth.
All
It's your
right.
birthday tomorrow on the 21st, so happy
Oh my God.
birthday.
Happy birthday. And guess what? That's the same birthday as my mother-in-law, Lauren. She's a 0 degrees Aquarius, which is today. So today, I told her today, I said, Ma, it's really your solar return today because we're coming off of a leap year. So I just want to teach that to everybody, Ashley. When you have your solar return, it's based on the degree of your sun sign and natal birth chart. So this year, 0 degrees could be today, January 20th, or when my mother-in-law was born, it was January 21st. So that's when you guys want to do solar return charts. It may be based on the day before, the day of, or the day after your birthday, just depending on how the stars and planets align. So happy birthday, Lit. And that's you Aquarius, you guys are special people. You
I
make
love my Aquarius.
oh, they make the world a better place. They are
Truly, truly.
beyond brilliant, and definitely, and that's what this is about. Because think about Pluto and Aquarius and Aquarius mantra. It is freedom and liberation. It is being weird, unique, and bizarre, pushing the envelope, being the vanguard, the rebel, the black sheep, being the brilliant genius. Sometimes we got to keep it real with you. Sometimes you could be a little stubborn and arrogant, but there's so much beauty in the expansion that you can take what is a foundation and then you flip it and push it to something else. And that's where your gift lies, Aquarius. So always never be afraid to be weird and bizarre. That's your magic. It truly is your magic to be the contrarian, and I love that. So Ashley, I want to ask you this. What happens to our DNA and our energetic field when we take that step to be intentional, to really meditate every day of our lives? What are the infinite possibilities for us?
Oh boy. Well, in combination with meditation, you definitely want to make sure you're getting the right
Yeah.
supplements because we're working with the proteins in the DNA, which create that structure upward and start to activate more of it. So, supplementation and
Mm,
detox is a huge factor when it comes to our capabilities and the awakening of those superhuman powers. And there are people that have superhuman powers. I've seen it. They're climbing up walls, they're levitating, they're moving things with their
mhm.
mind. You might be one of those people. And all you really need is to tune in, remember who you are, and detox. So that tuning in is going to reset the instruction sets for your body and lead you to find where there might be distortions or interference within
Mm,
your field, getting in the way of the purity of your DNA. And detox is a big thing. What I learned is naturally, innately, as I meditated, as I intended to
mm,
connect with the divine, my logic
mm.
changed. My desire to eat certain foods
Yes.
changed. My behaviors changed. So I did not have to work super hard. I didn't have to read 1,000 mantras and affirmations about changing my diet. I fast tracked.
Mm,
And I believe that that's what's possible for us. And I was led to the right
mm.
supplements, lots of cell salts when you're doing this type of work. Lots of cell salts. I can't emphasize that enough to support your
Okay.
cellular health. But it happens. It happens as you tune inward. Like knowledge is love, but knowledge of self
Yeah.
is true
Now,
power.
do you recommend, because I like to share with my people, it's very helpful to do like an Epsom salt or a Celtic sea salt the bath and, bring your crystals and different things. Do you have any specific tips in terms of herbs or the salts and drinking and bathing, things like that you share with your clients?
It's gonna be specific to you. Everybody is
True.
so different. I have a real good friend of mine. She's super psychic. She can't do
Okay.
the Epsom salt baths. It
Yeah.
messes with her. I love
Me
them.
too.
I love them. For me, I drink a
Yeah.
lot of iron. Other people need it, and this is where Eric, I wonder if you
Yeah.
you might know about this, because certain mineral compositions are connected to
Yes.
certain
Um,
planets, and depending on what rules where, you
so
might need that.
I'm gonna
So
blow
knowledge is
everybody's
self.
cranium, right? So think of this. You're in your mother's womb for 9 months, right? So let's say I'm born in September. So are you. Our parents procreated end of December, January. So that means like Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius season, we didn't have those energies and minerals. So we're deficient in them. Those are the ones you Google search and research, and those are the ones that you need for your body because you did not get them in gestation in your mother's womb. So think about when you were conceived, this 9 month process. I know it technically can overlap to 10 months, but in general, right? If you are a Virgo and you're born in September, late August, whatever, you're missing Libra, Scorpio, and Sag. And so those are the things. So I know for us, one thing I remember because I was laughing, I told my wife, I told you this is why I love them. For us, Ashley, cucumbers are very necessary for us. Okay. And there's, yes,
Love that. Love
yeah.
that for
So
us. And good for the
yes.
skin.
And there's so much more. I can't at this second remember them, but cucumbers is definitely one of them. And but this is a helpful tool. Another helpful tool, you guys, each month, right now as we're speaking, the moon is in Libra. Tomorrow it will enter Scorpio around 12 noon. So for all Scorpio sun signs, the moon is back to your natal sun. It's travels in each sign and house. So it'll be in Scorpio for 2.5 days, actually, 60 hours. At least 48 hours of that, you should take 2 days out of the 2.5 days, and you can recalibrate and reactivate your body on a cellular level when you no drugs, no alcohol, no cursing, no sex, eat very light, intermittent fasting. Eat with
I
the
love
circadian
that.
rhythms of the sun. Have your
Yeah.
biggest meal between 12 and 3, and maybe your first meal isn't to 11, and maybe it's just a smoothie, maybe it's just a light salad. But if you can do this for at least 48 out of the 60 hours, the chrysalim Christed oil comes down from the crown chakra to activate through the root and solar plexus, and it regenerates and activates your body on a cellular level so that once a month you kind of come back home to self internally.
I feel like you've done this. And can you feel it? Can you feel
Oh,
the bliss
it
that's
I've done it,
created?
and now
Yeah.
I'm at the point whenever the moon goes to Virgo, and I advise my wife when it hits back to Pisces because she's the Pisces sun sign. I'm like, baby, don't really eat, and let me tell you, when you do this, and then you start to do it consistently. So I'm kind of getting, I'm not gonna lie, I've messed up a month or two here, but now I'm trying to like, I think I've got like 2 months in a row where I've done pretty decently. I could do better. Okay, we can always do better, but I set that intention and I watched the moon. If you could do nothing else, you guys, learn your basic birth chart, but start to know when the moon comes back to your natal sun sign, and you can do this for 48 hours. Game changer. Yeah.
That's amazing. Samuel, she said, what are some examples of cell salts? Um, so cell salts, if you were to go on Amazon, type in cell salts bioplasm, there's a 12-in-1 cell salts, and that's where I would start. And then as you get to know your body, you can get more specific, and you can do different phosphates, sulfurs. It depends
Mm,
on you, but that's a great spot to start. And I encourage that for every single person I work with who's an
okay.
empath, who has a highly
Yeah.
sensitive neurological structure. Cell salts,
I've
it's
gotta
a
start
game
doing that.
changer.
Yeah.
It's it's a game
Yeah. And
changer.
and the iron you
So hopefully that
mentioned,
answers your
Dr.
question.
Sebi spoke about the iron all the time. And iron, we don't
Yeah.
realize because of miseducation through the medical system, most of us are vitamin D and iron deficient. And it can do so
Mhm.
much to healing the body. Not only do we need the natural vitamin D of the sun, which is why our little children should not be in schools during the day, or at least while they're in school, they should spend not 30 minutes, like an hour and a half to 2 hours outside learning in the sun, right? We need the vitamin D supplements and the natural sunlight. We don't need to wear our sunglasses outside. That's actually a myth. We need to be careful. You don't just stare up at the sun, but sunrise and sunset, sun gazing helps to tell your DNA in your body, right, on the cellular level, to integrate the melanin from the sun to your body so that you will not ever get a skin cancer or anything. It's really these, lotions that you put on that give you the skin cancer. It's not the sun. The sun brings life. It's all healing and all loving. So I want people to really start to think about that, especially when you ground to nature. And guess what? Hug a tree and touch the tree with your left hand, right? Our left hand is the intuition and receiving feminine energy, not female, feminine, to receive. Ask a tree for wisdom. They're sentient beings, right? Talk to these trees, talk to these mushrooms. I saw from this great gentleman, Ashley. He's huge on IG, Life the Plant Way, and he's been on my podcast, Joseph Octaviani. And he was talking about letting the weeds grow in your garden. The weeds are so powerful, and then they bring new things into the garden that you did not even plant. Don't get rid of the weeds. Do not.
Yeah, we need more of that. I'd love to see like gardens in
Yeah.
suburbia. That'd be
Amen.
nice.
So,
Yeah, the trees have
oh,
personalities.
they definitely do.
Oh, they got personalities. I'll be out there walking, communicating with the trees. Some of them are friendly, some of them, not so much.
So
I
you're
swear
brave, right?
there's this
Even in
one
Ohio,
tree.
you put on your coat and you go, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm out there in my
That's what I
snow
tell
boots.
people.
You cannot
I tell
stop
my
this
Canadian
alignment.
clients, people in Michigan, I said, it doesn't matter that it's cold. You get out there with your jacket, take your gloves off for a second, and touch and hug a tree. It's a
Yeah.
game changer. So, Ashley, I want to wrap up with you sharing, just a message of hope for 2025 and beyond. And then obviously to share your information, how people can connect with you again. But really, I want you to leave us with just this energy that you shared with us today, and for people to know we're gonna be okay, but we have
Oh,
to
absolutely.
become
Yeah.
more intentional, like you said. So the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you
It's
for
been a
having
pleasure.
me. First and foremost, mind is your tool. Choose your thoughts because they all have a foundational frequency. So remind yourself, mind is your tool. If fear comes in, if doubt comes in, if shame comes in, consider that an attack on your mental
Mm.
plane and command your body. Mind is your tool. Become the observer. Observe your thoughts. Observe your personality. Try not to judge yourself. Accept where you are as you work towards your best version. So become the observer. And then, third, know yourself. Tune in. Know that all those answers are inside, desiring to go inward to find them, and then expect the answers to show up in your structure of reality. Because your center, you're going to create the alignment, you're going to create the mirror that's going to show you exactly who you are, how you're resonating. And if you'd like further help on that, don't hesitate to reach out. You can check out my website for all my offerings, ashleapiefer.com. Find me on social media, Metaphysical Ash. I am here. Shoot me an email. Don't be shy. I'll respond.
I love that. That's what I always say. I'm like, don't be shy. You can reach out to me. I don't
Don't be
bite.
shy. That's
I
what we're
don't
here
bite.
for. If you're in my structure of reality, you're it. You're my entire universe. You matter. And I love you because I love me.
Mm, that's that's it right there. Because when we have self-love, it can easily extend to all living things and
Yeah.
organisms. But we have to love ourselves. And I always tell my clients, Ashley, my greatest hope for you and the collective is to retire from negative self-talk. That is no longer your job. Hand in the pink slip today. Say goodbye and now it's love time. And it can sound hokey. I made up a new word. I was like, it could sound cokey. Hokey and corny. It can sound cokey. I do this all the time, and I crack my wife up because I'll mix my brain
I
moves so
love it when
fast. I'll
people
move
make
two
up
words
words.
together, right? And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, that's
yeah.
kind of cool, cokey. But it can sound hokey and
Yeah.
corny, but it's not, you guys. I,
This
it's
is
physics,
physics.
it's energy, it's spirituality, it's everything. And so, yes, that's what I say to my clients. In the mind, the negative thoughts, don't let them go down the mental escalator and get dispensed out of the mouth as frequency and sound.
Mm-mm.
Cut them off here. You don't have time for them. Ignore them. Be like, nope, and turn it around
Mhm.
positively. Your subconscious mind is listening. Every time you speak negatively about yourself, and gossip is bad too, because the subconscious mind doesn't know you're talking,
Yep.
right? I could talk smack about so and so, oh, Daryl and Jason and this and that. The subconscious mind just thinks I'm talking about Eric. So
Mhm.
watch your mouth, watch your words. 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 mouth. Universal law, the word is life. Speak victory, joy, gratitude, success, compassion, empathy, love, patience. And then the world is yours.
That's right.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank
This
you
was
so
awesome.
much.
You guys, thank you so much. And tune in. She's a great follow on IG, Metaphysical Ash. And I just thank you. And this was so great on a very powerful day. I know for some of you it's mixed emotions, but let that go. Today was a great day. It's a beautiful day, and tomorrow will be even better. And you've got to know that and own that and speak that. That's it. Because once you do, then it will be. Then it's so it is. Okay. So, all right, my Virgo friend, don't be a stranger. And this has been episode 288. Can you imagine?
Wow. That's amazing, Aaron.
It's humbling
It's
to me too, and
amazing.
I'm just like, wow. And it has been a journey and a blast, and I love every moment. I love each one of you in the chat. This is my Virgo sister, the Sag moon and Sag rising. I'm the Cap moon, Scorpio rising, and this has been the Knowledge of Love Astrology podcast. Good night, everybody. Bye, Ashley. Bye.
Bye.